Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to stay muted, please, but we do encourage a lot of interaction, so jump in anytime you'd like. I'd also invite everyone to be on video. If you're not comfortable being in the recording, that's okay. That's why I've asked specific people to be on Spotlight so that we can record the video, keep everyone else private if you'd like. And Ikshit is quite popular these days. He has been asked to several interviews. And so he's asked if he can actually use this video to post on his own social media so that a lot of answers that get, a lot of questions that get answered today, he's able to share them because Ikshit has a purpose, and that is to spread his joy and spread his message and let everyone know that healing is possible for everybody. So I am going to be reading from some of my notes, so don't mind me rustling papers around, okay? I don't want to miss anything. So first things first, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody. And before we move on to our special guest today, I want to take a few minutes and just introduce myself because a few of you don't actually know me yet, like Trinidad and a few other people who are here from other groups. So my name is Farzana. And I had my own diagnosis of a life-threatening and incurable illness about 12 years ago. And I had a lot of ups and downs for many, many, many years. And a turning point for me was going to a 10-day silent meditation where I sat in meditation for about 10.5 hours every day, just going deep within myself and cutting through all the layers of limiting beliefs and anger and judgment and unforgiveness. And every day it was work. It was a lot of hard work to get through the layers of limiting beliefs, to overcome myself over and over again. And on day 7, something magical happened. So this is about 70, 80 hours into meditation, right? Just focusing on one thing, getting down below all of the clutter of my mind. I cut through so much of the energetic garbage that I came back into an awareness of who I actually am, which is pure divine love. I felt divine in that moment. And for me, that was the beginning of the end of my illness. So if anybody ever asked me what that one turning point was, that's what it was. And it was shocking because I had spent so much time and money and energy on trying to find a solution outside of myself when the whole time it was within me. And it didn't cost me one single penny. And then I discovered Dr. Joe only 2 years ago, and it was the first time that I realized that there's actually a science behind what happened to me, and that it could be replicated again and again, so as so many people were evidence of such healings. And I went to my first ever Dr. Joe Advanced Retreat only in September in Niagara Falls, and that's where Dr. Joe showed us a 3-minute video of Ikshit in such an angelic and pure state of his own awe at being able to move his hips and feel balance for the first time in over a decade. And Dr. Joe said that he had watched that one video at least 100 times. And there were about 1,600 people in Niagara Falls, and everyone was so emotional over that 3-minute video. And the more I learned about this beautiful young man and his persistence and devotion and focus and level of faith, I knew I wanted to introduce him to my community. So I reached out to Ikshit in October. And then in December, I asked if he would like to come speak to us. And here we are, our first live session in the new year. And we're so grateful that Ikshit is our very first guest of 2023. So welcome. So I want to welcome Ikshit and all of you lovely people here today. I want you to feel very comfortable. We're among family here. So jump in anytime, ask questions, share any comments, show your love for Ikshit. I know a lot of you have sent me comments about what Ikshit has done for you, just in motivating you. So feel free to share the love with Ikshit. And we have an hour together, so don't be shy. If you would prefer, you can put your comments into the chat and I'll monitor it as we go. I'll try to monitor as we go. Okay, if I miss any questions, anybody just feel free to jump in and let me know. So some questions will be directly related to the Dr. Joe meditations to Ikshit, and some may be general questions, and which is either is fine because we have a mix of students who have gone to Dr. Joe and know his content. And then there are students from my own community that haven't been to advanced long retreats of Dr. Joe. So you can have a mix of both questions. So Ikshit, I've been teasing you that we have a special participant here to see you because we have something interesting in common. When I was at the retreat in Niagara on registration day, we entered this huge room filled with so many people. And I somehow started walking towards the yellow registration desk. And I don't even like the color yellow. I don't know why I was going towards yellow, but there was something drawing me to yellow. And when I got there, I met Yelena for the first time. Do you recognize her? She's on Spotlight with you. And so Yelena was my team lead. And when I invited her, so she and I have stayed connected. She's one of my favorite people. She's a total light and love and divine feminine energy. And when I invited her, I said, oh, you know Ikshit, I'm sure you know Ikshit. He's going to be coming as a guest. Would you like to join us? And she said that actually you are on her team in Cancun. So all the thousands and thousands and thousands of people and all the team leads we could have chosen, you and I both resonated somehow to Yelena. So Yelena, you're here especially to see Ikshit. If you'd like to say any words to him and say hello to him, feel free.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Akshit. I'm so happy to see you and everybody else here. That was very surprising invitation, and so excited to hear how you're doing, and just amazing. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you, Yelena. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I have a question to start us off here. So Ikshit and I had a chance to connect. I wanted to just start things rolling here, but I do anticipate that a lot of you have questions or comments, okay? I'm gonna start the ball rolling and start with a question. I also have a couple of people who have sent me their questions, actually a few people. So I have some questions on hand too. At any time though, after this first question, I'm gonna invite you to raise your hand or just even show me on video if you would like to ask a question, okay? So let me start with this one. Ikshit, you can still hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So it's clear that belief, faith, and meditation plays a huge part in your life. You said that since learning about meditation at the age of 19, here you are 10 years later and you haven't missed a day of meditation. So can you take us through your meditation growth from where you started at age 19 and what you're doing now? And I ask this specifically for those who are newer to meditation, because when I was really, really, really sick at the beginning of my diagnosis and I was told to meditate, I had such an active mind. It was so much fear and unloving thoughts and all this anger and judgment constantly running through my mind that it was basically just me closing my eyes, even for up to 30, 45 minutes, but still having that active mind and not feeling any peace from it at all. So meditation for me in the beginning was a struggle. And I honestly didn't think it was working for me until I learned how to calm my mind. So can you take us a little bit through your meditation journey since the age of 19, which is about 10 years now, right? 10 years you've been meditating? Okay.
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you for having me, Farzana. It's so nice to be here and with such a lovely community here. Thank you so much. So yeah, coming to my meditation journey, yeah, it started exactly at age of 18. But before that as well, like, because of my family condition, like my mom is too much into meditation from very beginning, like for many years now. So she has been guiding me throughout. And like before even I was diagnosed with this, I used to do worship, like I used to do light a lamp and like sometimes in a month. So I was like into worshiping thing and doing prayers and all. So I had this kind of belief that there's some higher power already and we used to like worship God and all. So at the age of 18, like when I started my university days, exactly. And that was like at the same time I started feeling a little bit of challenges in my like walking, and I could see a physical like limitation in my activities overall. So I started with doing a yoga, pranayams, as we all know in India, like, breathing exercises. So initially I just did a 5 minute of meditation after all my pranayams. Like I used to do 30 minutes of pranayam, and after that, my mind is already in that state. So I just sat for 5 minutes more, doing nothing, listening, nothing guided. Just I was sitting, focusing on my like maybe third eye, or just like blank, silent. And in the beginning, for sure, it was not like my mind was so much like in the calm state or very silent. I used to have many thoughts, but I did it anyhow, just for 5 minutes. Most of the days before going to my college, like maybe 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes, if I was like late for the college, I did it in the evening after returning from the college. I figured out in evening sometimes it was easy because I was already very tired. So my analytical mind used maybe like so much of calm, and I was not having that much of thoughts. And because I didn't sat like with any expectation, now because I was recollecting my memories from that time, I went to void state, like that, the transcendental state very easily as compared to now. Because now maybe even I'm sitting with some expectations with the meditation. That time I didn't had any expectation. So now I'm thinking like I had that visions, and that like I'm transcending this 3D state. Now I'm able to use that words, but that time even I don't know like what this 3D state transcendental things like even mean. So because I was guided to this, even in my like university days, I met one enlightened soul who told me that just start doing meditation and things will get better. So that time also I was not that I'm doing just for the health perspective. She said that you will feel better overall, you will feel good energy, and you will be in the positive state of mind. I said okay. So I asked her the question, for how long I have to do this? She said just for few months. I said okay. And then I started this pranayam, and then after 5 minutes meditation. But I don't know when it became my habit. She said to me like it was just for few months, because maybe she might be knowing that if I am doing just for few months, I'll be continuing for forever. So that was the like time I started doing it. Gradually I increased this time from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I started feeling more calm. It was not like I have to do this, I wanted to do that. I wanted to be in that state. That made my mind, my everything, like I was at so much of peace doing that. First of all, because I was not doing with any kind of expectation. So it went on for a few years, and I has increased this time for half an hour, 45 minutes. In 2016, when I completed my like degree and I started working, that time I joined an organization, if Indians here know, Shiv Yoga Foundation. So I started with Shiv Yoga because at the end of my university, my like health has deteriorated much, and it has become a lot of like lot challenging for me for basic things even. So my focus was shifting towards health now. Like I'm aware that I have to do something particularly for my health. And my mom used to watch this Shiv Yoga videos, and it is like so much of convincing that everything can be healed. You have that power, you have that energy. So I enrolled myself in Shiv Yoga and I started following Shiv Yoga. It was very well, like it is one of the major thing that has given me so much of hope and faith in this healing. Like anything can be healed, that this is also science, and meditation has power to heal anything. So I started listening the lectures, listening the videos. They have proper meditations, healing meditation, long 1 hour meditation. I started doing, so that was the time I started doing guided meditations. Since then I have been doing guided meditation very often. Sometimes still I do on guided meditations, but that time I like did morning meditation, evening meditation after coming from my work or before going for my work. So I started doing that. And in 2018, and that because now I am like in this zone, I'm watching videos of healing, of science, what's the science behind all this. Then I came across Dr. Joe's videos in 2018. I listened to his videos, lectures. I read Becoming Supernatural. I connected like how everything is purely scientific, and what I've been doing for so many years now, it makes sense to me. So I still like, still until then I also didn't start Dr. Joe's meditations, but I was reading his books, watching his videos, because I realized at some level everything is same. Like it doesn't matter which meditation you are doing, just you have to do this and you have to believe in this work. Other than that, just meditation are just tools to reach that state. So I was doing Shiv Yoga meditations and I was like doing many other stuff. I was experimenting with myself. Anything that made me feel better and that made me feel energetic, I was doing that. Any free meditation from YouTube or anything else. Then I dedicatedly, few months, like last year, I dedicatedly started doing Dr. Joe's meditations because it was a change for me, and I find it very handy because of the kind of music and all to go in more deep very easily. So I started doing that. So yeah, this is the journey and for meditation, and still I do different kinds of meditation, not just a particular meditation. Many times I do unguided meditation when I'm feeling like I don't need a guided meditation. I'm just sitting, sometimes with a music and sometimes without even a music. Just I'm sitting very silently, and I'm able to go deep in that state even like during unguided meditation as well. So this is the thing. But overall, like if you will ask me how is my meditation journey, it's not at all linear at all. Like still many days I have a meditation where I am having so much of thoughts, like my mind is not able to just go silent at all. But there are many days it's where it's absolutely silent. So it's not that every day meditation will be the best meditation, and like it's not that any meditation is bad meditation at all, because if you are sitting and even if it was not good meditation, it will be just a message for your mind that even like you made out time for meditation today. So that's the most important thing, like sitting for meditation at any cost. So this I make sure that I'm doing even if I'm in the mood or not in the mood, but I still sit for the meditation.
Yeah, it's really unbelievable that you haven't missed a day in 10 years. Like as much as that 10 days of meditation really shifted me, there are days that I give myself a pass. But I'm also at a point where I really love what I feel when I go into meditation. So for me, it's worth, waking up early and being in an hour of meditation. So that's really incredible. Thank you so much. Anybody else have a question based on what Ikshit's just shared, or any other questions right now before I have other questions I can ask that have come in, but I'm just going to scroll around. Anybody on Spotlight that has a question? Someone's come off mute? No? Whoa, shy bunch today, huh? Shy bunch. Yes, Gargi?
Hi, Akshit. Thanks for coming, and thank you, Farzana, for this opportunity. Just to see him is like I get goosebumps, such incredible story. Seriously, God bless you with abundant health and abundance of everything in life. And thanks for coming here, sparing your time for us and sharing all these things. Like, same as Farzana said, I also do meditation. I've been doing for many years, but I also give myself a pass. It's okay today with kids. But just listening to you, I'm like, no, not anymore. Every day I have to show up. So seriously, incredible. Thank you. Seriously, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Kagi.
What of which ones of Dr. Joe's meditations did you particularly did?
Okay, again I'll tell you
Following
which
in your
all.
footsteps,
No, okay, yeah, I'll tell you which meditations I do, but again, like it doesn't matter which meditation you do. Some meditation may be good for me, like I'm feeling good in particular meditations, and maybe you are not feeling good in that meditation. So it depends, like person to person. And like for example, few months ago, I hated blessing of the energy centers meditation. Like I say this on my all my sessions, but now I love doing blessing of the energy centers and I feel really good after that. So, and that too, like there are 10 blessing of the energy centers, some are very favorite to me, and that too also keep on changing. Like a few months ago I liked a particular meditation, now I don't like that particular, but my I have different favorites now. So that's the thing. So I'll just say experiment with yourself, try every meditation, and what resonates with you most, do that. But still I'll share mine. Like mine is blessing of the energy centers 4 that I love the most, and then changing boxes, alchemist, synchronizing to the health, that series, and one is inner missions meditation beyond the veil, that I love the most. So I'm doing these very often, but still I keep on like trying different and just experiment with different meditations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
So Gargi, some of these are available to you and some are only for advanced students. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that because, you know, Dr. Joe really takes you a little bit deeper into what happens during those meditations. So I think majority of what he's mentioned are actually available for you on the website, but some of them are more advanced just in case you don't find them easily.
Okay. Yes. Thank you for that.
So Ikshit, we have a couple of questions in the chat that are a little bit similar. So how do you keep your momentum up day to day, or do you allow yourself to feel when disappointment comes up? So someone specifically asked, how do you stick to optimism, or how do you keep depression at bay? And I know just from my own journey, you know, when you're going through healing, it can feel like a lot of work, like very heavy work, you know? And so sometimes it's hard to stay in a high momentum. And you and I chatted a little bit about this spiritual bypass, just wanting to stay in a higher state, even though below the surface, you're not feeling very high state. So we really don't want to be doing that, right? We really do want to be becoming aware of where our emotions really are. So I'll leave you to answer.
Yeah, I must like confess, it's still like many days I am not able like feeling that high state, and there are still days when I'm feeling very low and that doubtful situation and disappointed situation. But what I felt is now at least I'm aware that I'm slipping into that stage. I'm very much aware that my mind is going in that stage, and it's okay. Like I know it's okay because everything I can't be that much motivated 24/7, but being aware allows me to bring it back like very easily. So like, okay, if I am having that kind of state, I will allow myself how long I will allow, how long I can be in that state, maybe like few days only, few weeks, but that's it. So after that I have to bring it back, and I am able to bring it back because I realize it has been many times it goes in that state and it comes again back, and I have that tools. So first of all, awareness is the key. And you know, it's a practice. It's not that I'm able to do this like very quickly or very easily. Just I have learned it from my experience. Gaining that wisdom allows me to bring it back from that depressed state, because now I know nothing is permanent. Like nothing, absolutely nothing. No situation, no circumstance, no condition, even our physical body. Like because we are not this physical body, so this body is not at all permanent. Everything is just temporary and it's just transient. So this thought, this acceptance of truth, because this is the ultimate truth, that if we accept this, in this 3D world everything is just temporary, and whatever is temporary, it's just a lie. Like that can't be truth, whichever is temporary. So ultimate truth is just one. Accepting this and being reminding myself of this again and again allows me to come back from that depressive state or like low state. This is based on like what I do for my mind. Second thing, whenever I'm in depressive state, I know I'm in that state because I'm off my schedule. So I know I have to get back to my discipline. I have related to this many times. Like whenever I found myself in that low state, I found myself that I am off my schedule. I'm not doing my meditations at that particular time or with that much dedication. So my next task is to do nothing, just to bring back my discipline. That's it. Like nothing to motivate my mind, nothing to do this sort of stuff. Just I know if I'll bring my discipline back, everything will be sorted and I'll be out of that zone. So discipline is very like key thing throughout my journey. So I'm being on and off, but I do this with like this. I give myself 21 days challenge, 40 days challenge, that I have to do this without a break. This I have to follow this schedule without a break. So that automatically like brings me back from that state in even like 4 to 5 days or 7 days. And when I start that discipline, it goes beyond 40 days, or like it start like it's continuous then, unless something major happens and it breaks my discipline. So discipline is one main thing. And other, like, there are many key things in here. So sometimes something works and sometimes other things work. Other thing is surrounding myself with like-minded people. So that has helped me a lot, like doing that kind of talks, sharing things. Even when I'm at the low stage, people around me are talking that stuff, spiritual talks, motivational talks. So that allows me to, okay, yeah, see where my mind is going. These are the possibilities. I'm missing that possibilities. My mind is not able to think on that level, but still see these are the possibilities. So that like you can call the community or like-minded people, that definitely helps a lot. And then changing the environment. If I'm in a depressive or a low state for a particular time, I know I have to change my environment, because that environment is supporting me to be remaining in that state. So I change my environment. I go out with my friends for like a day, or like with family. So that helps to shift my, like, break the loop, because our mind is stuck in that loop. That's only the depressive state is. So when we break that loop, so mind comes out, it see all the new things in a different way. So that breaks the depressive state. Yeah, so these are the things I follow. And not like I'm always following these set of things, but sometimes some things and other times other things.
Well, what's really incredible, I'm going to put Heidi on next for her question, but what's really incredible to me is when people hear of healing stories and they're thinking to themselves, wow, how come I can't get there? But I think this question is so important because you, from a very young age, have had, this level of faith and belief instilled in you by your own parents. You had, at a very young age, an introduction to this guru who taught you meditation. You have been meditating every single day for 10 years, and you still have these episodes of, these lower vibrations that come to you. So, for the rest of these people who are here, who have kids, who have other priorities, who have so many other stresses in their life, I think, it's so great that you shared that with us, because it doesn't matter what circumstances you grew up in. It doesn't matter when you started meditating. It doesn't matter when your beliefs set in. We all still go through these episodes where we're going to feel a little bit of low vibration, and it's absolutely okay. But I think the key is that you're talking about is that the awareness to know when you're in that lower state of vibration, and the bounce back, the period of time it takes to bounce back. Thank you, Ikshit. That was beautiful.
And
Heidi.
just one thing that just came to my mind, role of guru in this. I am blessed to have guru in my life. See, that is very important, because there has been times when I'm like very, very depressed. Because and at that level, I know nothing is gonna work for me to bring me back. At that stage, my guru comes in any form. Like I get a call from her or anything. Like, and it has been many times I have like seen this synchronicity. So role of guru is unmatchable in this journey, and I am blessed to have a guru in my life throughout the journey. Like maybe in terms of like Shivya guru, like the guidance and the teachings, the faith. So I just wish like everybody has that kind of guru in their life, and that's like a guiding light to us, like who takes us to the ultimate destination and to realize that ultimate truth. So that is also very important for me.
Yeah, and you were ready for it, right? You were ready for it. That was something that was called to, because you were ready to receive the message. And I think that we are all, even in this community, we have one another because we're all walking on the same path. So thank you for sharing. Thank you, Ikshit. Heidi.
Hi. It is so nice to be here, Ikshit. I feel like a fangirl because I've seen many of your interviews now, and your story. I'm so grateful to you for your generosity, because I know you devote a lot of your time to share your knowledge and experience, and I'm sure it takes up a lot of your schedule. So thank you for being here, and just know that your story, at least for me and probably so many people, is an anchor for what is possible. And I recently watched your testimonial, the new one that was posted, and it came at divine time. So I really feel like your energy and the message that you have to share is so, it's like healing. for everybody. So thank you. And thank you, Farzana. You're so awesome. I had a question specifically going back to when you do have those bad meditations, but like the difficult meditations where things come up. And even Farzana referenced, like when she did her 10-day meditation retreat, like a lot of layers will get unpeeled and you'll notice the anger and the frustration. And lately that's been happening a lot for me. And I just want to stop the meditation. Like I've actually done that a few times where I'm like, I can't handle this. I'm going to stop this. And so what do you do to get through those uncomfortable moments and to persevere and continue?
Okay, yeah, great question. And see, I'm never judging my meditations, even if it's good or bad. I know how this came to me, like how this became my nature. I'm never judging my meditation. I'm just doing my meditations. I know I have to do it. And maybe because of all this is also because of my belief system. I have such a strong belief system and I believe in meditation so much that I will do my meditations at any cost, whatever may come. Even like somebody is telling me meditation never works, that's never gonna work on me because I have this strong belief. So just keep on doing your meditations, I would say, and don't judge. Don't label your meditations as bad meditations or good meditations. Meditation is just meditation. It's just a tool. It'll never be the same because, and also with every meditation you are evolving. So definitely your experience will change with every meditation. It will never be the same. And you will not believe this, like maybe when you will just get more wisdom on this. So with every meditation, many of your things are changing from inside, like not only just physical level, on energetic level, psychic impressions level, and emotional level. So we may not see it now, but there are very subtle changes that's happening with every meditation. We tend to judge our meditations just based on our physical things and just on our emotional things. Maybe we are not feeling good in both the ways, but still this meditation is working inside a lot. So just have this faith and keep on doing. If you're not feeling better after the meditation, one day definitely you will, because initially it's very hard in meditations. I would like just give you an example. Like maybe most of you have heard this. And so if there's a room and it's closed for many years, one day you thought of cleaning that room. So when you'll open that room and start cleaning that room, for in the start, like for once, there will be so much of dust all around and so much of dirt. It will be all in the air. You might not see anything else, only dust and dust. So it's like that. Sometimes meditation is like a cleaning process for us. So we should not stop when we are in that moment, like we are having that bad meditations. It's just cleaning going on. It's purifying us. And once that cleaning is done, dust is gone, you will see things more clearly and with so much of beauty. It will just unfold many things inside of you. You will definitely have that. I can tell you this from my experience. No philosophy, no books. I can tell you this from particularly my experience. So keep on doing it, even if you are not feeling that much better.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will think of you every time I want to quit.
Thank you, Heidi. Bhavna. You're on mute, Bhavna. You're still on mute. Okay, we'll come back to you, Bhavna. While you're trying to come off mute, you're still on mute. I do know that Shalini had a question. So Shalini will go first, and then Bhavna, you can come on once you figure out how to unmute. Shalini.
Hi, Farzana. Hi, everyone. Hi, Akshit. Welcome. Thank you for being here, all of us. So Farzana introduced us to Dr. Jo's work from when she got back from her retreat. And since I've been meditating on blessing of the energy centers. So it's probably about 4 months. I'm doing it consistently, religiously every day. Yeah, I've kind of failed to do it 1 or 2 days here and there, but it has been going on very well, I must say. And I've got a quick question on that one. When Dr. Joe says to feel the space and the energy around the centers, and then to be in space, how do you exactly do it? I think on some days I understand it, but on some days I feel a little lost. Then I don't kind of get the feeling that I want to. I know I shouldn't be expecting. I should just go kind of blank and experience whatever comes in. But sometimes I'm struggling to understand it.
Yeah, okay. I would recommend that this is like Dr. Joe has explained this very well in the last lecture of progressive workshop, but I'll tell you like how I do and what I think about this. So how I feel myself during a blessing of energy centers meditation is I feel myself in the space, like everything around me is just black and like space and space all around. And when he says the space around a particular energy center, then I feel that energy center and the space around that, like covering my body and beyond my body in the space only. So that ways our focus is moving from the energy center towards the like outer space from our body towards outside of the body. So I feel I do it like this, but I think listening to that progressive lecture will help you a lot because Dr. Joe has explained very well in that last lecture of progressive workshop.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I think some days I've managed to do it the way you've been doing it, or I just kind of automatically find myself in that dark space, and I don't see anything else. But I think on other days I couldn't.
Yeah, same happens for me as well. Every day I'm not able to do this, but like same. So what I do is I go and listen back that lecture, and so that again revises me the whole concept, and then I do the meditation. So I still listen the same lecture again and again many times.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for answering this question. Makes more sense.
Thank
So
you.
Shalini, that's definitely the practice, I think, for most of us, because we're going from this, this narrow focus of fight or flight, and we're trying to expand it right into the space where there's expansion. But that is the work, because for decades, all we've been doing is this tunnel vision on fight or flight, what we shouldn't be doing, what we can't be doing, what we fear. And now it's about just trying to expand that focus. So that's the work. Yeah, even so many people who've been doing Dr. Joe's meditations for so long, it's still a practice that they need to work on. Thank you.
Can I quickly give a tip to Heidi if it helps? I don't know, because she was asking about when she's got so many thoughts and she just want to kind of drop the meditation and not carry on. It happens to me. Of course, it happens to all of us, no matter how long we've been meditating for. So what I tend to do when the thoughts are playing up during the blessing of the energy centers meditation itself, or any meditation that I'm doing, so I tend to bring my focus back to my heart, and then I go to any part of my body and I kind of start to feel the love for myself or anything, and then it kind of just brings me back to my senses or anything you want to say, and it just kind of gives me the courage to carry on with the meditation. So I don't know whether that will work for Heidi, but I'm sure there are many other things that we can do to stop that. But this is what I've been doing. Then it brings me back to my meditation and carry on loving it. Yeah.
Thank you, Shalini. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you able to come off mute now?
Yes.
Perfect.
Hi, Ikshit. Thank you so much for joining us, and I truly appreciate you taking your time to do this for us. My question is, I've heard that meditation works best if you do it in the morning. I was wondering, for me, doing it in the morning, I'm always thinking about what's going on. I mean, what I have to do next, and I mean, the whole day. So I was wondering if doing it in the evening has the same effect as doing it in the morning.
It depends. Like I do both, and this is true. In morning, we have more of thoughts because we have to plan for the day, what we'll be doing throughout the day.
Yeah.
So what I do, I have like used this as a tool for me as well. In morning, I do meditations that are like where we have to, plan our day, like how we'll be behaving throughout the day, what we'll be doing, what choices we'll be making, how we have not to think, what thoughts we don't have to think. So these kind of meditations, like tuning into the new potentials or alchemist, so I do this in morning. And in evening, I feel because our body is a little bit tired, so in that state it's more easy to surrender. So in evening, I prefer doing meditations that are more, just not much guided, just very less guidance is there, and we can surrender more, and we can, go in more deep kind of state, in void, like beyond the veil. So beyond the veil is one. There are different, I am not just recollecting the names. There are such meditations which allow us to go more in that transcendental state. So in evening, I prefer doing that because we don't have to think much. We just have to like sit and remain silent and just surrender. So I calibrate myself this way mostly. So I think this might be helpful for you as well.
Thank you.
It's interesting, right? Because Dr. Joe has said, wake early in the morning, like around 4, and basically jump out of bed. You don't want to meditate in your bed because there's a memory associated with your bed. You're going to jump out of bed, go to your meditation space, and before your mind, like as your mind is still in that, delta theta state, you don't want to get into beta. You don't want to start thinking. So you want to get into your meditation space before you do anything other than go to the washroom maybe and get into meditation. Personally, I find that works better for me. Every time I try and start tuning down at about 9 p.m., I always feel like that's when my planning starts. So it's really interesting. It's very, I guess, individual, whatever works for you. And maybe it'll change, right? It changes over time.
No,
Maybe
same. If I'm doing very early, like if I'm doing 4 a.m. meditation, at that time, I'm only doing blessing of the energy centers. I do this kind of meditation at around 7 or 8 a.m. or maybe like 9 a.m. So this is my second meditation, tuning into the new potentials that I'm doing in the day. First, my 4 a.m. meditation is always the blessing of the energy centers meditation. So yeah, this is the point. And yeah, it keeps on changing. It depends like what you are feeling and what you feel works best for you.
Yeah, you go in phases, right? As long as you do a meditation, I think you said earlier, as long as you do a meditation every day, whether it's just silence, whether it's guided, whether you go on YouTube and choose anything that's inspiring you, do something every day. Again, it's just a practice.
Right.
Perfect. So Kushbu has a question on intention and visualization. So do you intend visualize for changes in your health during meditations? And the other part of it is when and what changes did you start noticing on your journey?
Okay. So for the first question, when I'm doing that kind of meditations, like tuning into the new potential or changing boxes, in that, yes, I do visualize during the meditations. And for the intention, yeah, before every meditation, I try to put some intention on my meditation. Like I'm sitting for a meditation, so I do that. But I don't know, like it's not always possible for me. I skip this sometimes. But in that particular meditations, I do visualize. And not even just meditations, even during my exercises, when I'm doing my exercises, before starting my exercises, I do visualize a lot, and that helps me a lot. Like 10 minutes before my exercises, I'm just visualizing myself running or maybe doing those kind of exercises very easily. I could feel the change very significantly. Like if I'm starting without visualizing, I'm feeling some kind of stiffness. But if I just do that same exercise after that 10 minutes of visualization, there's a tremendous change. And I could literally feel that sensation in my legs, arms, or all the body. So yes, visualization works like very much for me. So I definitely do that. And can you please repeat the second question? Are you
When and what changes did you start noticing on your journey?
okay? So all throughout the journey. Okay. So see, this is where like my health has been not going up. Like my improvement has not been, my graph has not been upside throughout my journey. Overall, if I see, it has been declining like since it started. But there has been like many moments I'm feeling better, and it stays on for a while. Then I may feel even better, and then it starts declining again. So it has been like maybe unlimited times, on and off, on and off, and it depends on several of factors, not just one particular thing. Definitely like meditation I'm doing all throughout. So sometimes doing good meditation, I could feel the change with the meditation. Otherwise, overall, like if my energies are good, I'm happy in whatever I'm doing. Like, so good, if good things are happening to me, I'm feeling joyful just because of outside situations even. So I'm feeling better. And if there's some stressful situation at work or something, I feel like definitely it's impacting my health. So there's no particular time or just one point where I'm feeling that changes. It's very transient. Like every change is very transient for me. And I'm just aware, okay, this thing is now making me good, feel good. And this thing is working against me. So I try not to repeat that thing. That's like making me worse. So, but yeah, these changes keep on happening every now and then. And I'm just working on it. But overall, if I see as a whole, so I'm just working to not like just to decrease the declining of my like health, so that I can just maintain it. And even if I'm in that state, I can be happy and just be joyful with that state as well. So I'm working on that thing.
Thank
Thank you, Ikshit. First of all, it's great to have you here with us. And I want to thank both you and Farzana for giving us this opportunity. And that's the visualization tip before the workout. That really hits a mark with me, because I'm definitely going to try that. And I wish you the best. God bless. And definitely waiting for another testimonial from you.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Kushbu.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kushbu. So I have a question that came in from Sarah. It's a question on surrender. She says, I believe that for anyone to heal themselves or let others heal them, they have to let go control and allow the energy to flow. This is harder for some people to do. And I'm wondering, what mental images, thoughts, or feeling does Ikshit use to help him let go of control, let the energy flow, and allow that healing to take place?
Yeah. Yeah. So surrender has been a major part of my journey throughout. And I feel it has been innate in me from very beginning. Because as I said, I am like worshipping and I'm doing prayers for since my childhood. So I have the strong belief and faith in God, or you can say that higher power. Because many times also I have felt in my life, it is like where I could not control anything, but still everything just worked out for me and in favor of me. So recollecting those things and incidents, like my memories from past, just allow me to surrender more and more. So first thing that helped me surrender more is my past experiences, my things coming to me, and like having all these conditions, like having this major health thing, and still I traversed my life so easily and so smoothly. I'm amazed at myself. Even like if I sit and think like how I did that, I don't know from where that power and that strength came into me. Because at times it feels so much of like so much difficult in those situations, like how I behaved. I was not behaving myself. It was something divine working with me, how I carried myself throughout my journey. Like in my schooling days, like in my 12th standard, I was the head boy of my school. So with this condition, having that position, it was big. Like my school had 4,000 students. Leading 4,000 students with this condition, I could never have imagined, like, if I'm I'm this conscious now. So having that kind of confidence and strength at that age, when I was just 18, I'm not doing this. It's something bigger power that's giving me this strength. So recollecting these kind of things help me to surrender more. And for sure, like these things are in everybody's lives. It's just we are not able to acknowledge them. We are not able to recollect them. So best way for me, like to surrender, or I will say for anybody to surrender, is just look back at your life and acknowledge small things. There must be many things that's working in favor of you, and you couldn't have imagined that this could go this wrong or this wrong, but still it worked best for you. So recollecting those incidents and things will increase your faith in this higher power and will allow you to surrender, because you are just one being. You can't control everything around you. You can't control every situation around you. So there must be some power that is working with you always. If you'll show your faith in that power, that will never let you down. You have to show that faith. It is there. It is there. And one analogy, if I can share it like very quickly, I shared it in last session as well. Like because you asked for an analogy, I used to remind myself this again and again. You take a leaf, like anything as light as leaf, right? And if you place that in vacuum, it can't move by itself, because anything in the 3D world needs an external force for any kind of movement. So for like it needs an air to move that to move a leaf. So air is an external force, right? Now look at yourself. Look at your body. Your heart is beating, right? That outward and inside movement of your heart walls, it definitely needs a force, an external force. Where's that force coming from? You are not doing it consciously. You are not thinking to beat your heart. You're not thinking to move your blood into your vessels. You're not thinking for so many infinite things going in your body. It's still going on and on. There's some power, there's some intelligence doing that. So if you can't even control that little heartbeat, how can you control everything around you, every situation happening to you, so many things around you? So you have to believe in that power. It's working always. So this analogy, I just remind myself again, and when I'm feeling down, so this helps me surrender more.
Yeah, that's such a good point, Ikshit. Really, really great. And just about gratitude, the gratitude for everything, no matter how big or small. Yelena has us in a gratitude practice at the moment. I don't know if it's 21 days or 28 days, and just focusing on just expressing gratitude every single day. And Yelena, I have my stone here. One of the practices is just to have something beside your bed that you actually can hold physically and just count your gratitudes from the day. And it's such a small practice, but so important, because soon you start rewiring your mind just to get into that flow, that state of, wow, there's so much I have in my life. And that is something, there is a higher power working through my life. And then all of a sudden you start surrendering to everything that's coming your way, everything that you're grateful for. Ikshit, I asked you to be only with us for an hour. I can definitely stay longer, but we're coming up to an hour. Do you have a few more minutes? Are you okay?
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So I have a question here in the chat, and then I also have another question that you and I chatted about that I think is very important. So the question here in chat is, do you visualize yourself as the first person or third person? And I think this is a really good question, because Dr. Joe and all the spiritualists say you want to act as if it's in the now. You want to see it happening to you as if it's in the now. But it's so hard to do that. It's easier for us to see it as if it's a movie in front of us, away from us, sometime in the future. So do you know what she's asking in that question? Are you able to answer that?
Right.
That's from Shir.
Yeah, that's really great question. And I know I don't know like if I'll be able to answer that correctly or not, but what I feel is when I say I'm able, like I'm visualizing in my tuning into new potentials meditation or before exercises, then I'm doing it as a first person, because that way I am visualizing my body. I am doing that thing. I am like acting in that way. I'm running. So that I do as first person. But when I'm not visualizing particularly, but when I'm feeling a particular emotion, or may it be low or high, then I'm viewing myself as a third person. So like it's not in the meditation, it's just I'm not able to explain this particularly, but if I want to detach myself from anything, and if something is not working in favor of me, I view that situation as a third person, like how my mind is feeling, how my mind is thinking, how my body is behaving in that state. But if I want to create something for me, then I visualize it as first person, as if I am doing it now. I hope it makes sense, but I don't know like if I'm able to clear this.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, because it's kind of like Shalini's question about the void. It's kind of hard to make it into a logical statement, right? It's very experiential. Sometimes you're
Right.
going to feel right into it and it's going to feel like it's happening to me now. And sometimes to begin the process, you're going to have to see it in front of you. But it's a process of just working your way into believing it's in the now. Like it's just something else you have to experience and practice, just like anything else. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you. Sharon says, thank you so much. She does understand.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I saw a question from Bhavna. Do you do affirmations? And I'm sure she'll want to ask you, what is your affirmation if you do have one?
That's also like it's not always I'm doing. I used to write my vision of the future before sleeping. So I give this myself a challenge, 40 days challenge, that every night before sleeping I'll write my vision of the future. So it was around 1 page long. Every night I wrote that, but it was all very long term. So it definitely helped me to be in that state and that feel that good positive energy and throughout my night. So when I woke up after that, every day I felt very happy. So that thing definitely works. And these days I'm not doing affirmations, but I believe in that, and I have done that in past, and I will still want to do it again. Just I'm very lazy now, like these days, for that affirmation thing, but I would do that. And my affirmations also keep on changing, like like very like few years back it used to be with only materialistic things, like I want this particular kind of job, I want this particular kind of external things. But lately I started realizing those things, even now I have got my dream job, everything, but still those things are not making me feel fulfilled or satisfied any longer. So my affirmations are changing now. Just as I said, what gives me most satisfaction is by helping others. So I have realized this. So somehow I'm like just thinking of how I can use myself more and more to give back. So still I'm not clear in what ways I can do this, but I'm just trying. And this is my one of the affirmation now, that I can give more and more back, because that's the thing that's helping me feel fulfilled. So ultimately I want to feel fulfilled and realize the ultimate truth. So at the moment this is the thing that's making me feel that. So I want to be my affirmations around this. So if I start doing my affirmations again, this will be my first affirmation.
That's beautiful. Thank you. I see Shabina has her hand up, but based on what you just said, I want to ask a quick question, because I've shared this with you already. So I know it's a very philosophical question, but hopefully it'll be quicker for you. So it's quite natural to think, why do things happen to us, especially things like a health crisis? Why did it happen to me? And it seems like in your case, you've walked this path in order to inspire others, because I've heard so many people talk about how you helped them on their journey. You've even inspired Dr. Joe. He said it himself. When he often talks about, people who run the 4-minute mile, the first person to do it just shows the rest of the people that it can be possible. And you're definitely one of those people that's showing other people what the potential of healing is. So have you ever wondered, I heard about your affirmation right now, so this is why I'm asking, have you wondered why you went through what you did, and what do you feel are the gifts that came out of it? Has it helped shape sort of what you think your purpose is in life?
This thing just happened with me in Cancun, very recent. So, like, overall, I had this kind of awareness, and I had been thinking, like, why this happened to me. And I got this answer for me like long back only. So it's not like I just got this in Cancun, but in Cancun, it was very much, very, very clear for me. So I think it was day 2 or day 3 on the last meditation of the day. It was lying down meditation. So after I stood up from that state, in that meditation, I got this strong, very strong feeling that now I realize why I had this kind of condition, because, and maybe that was because of the kind of stories I was listening from everybody around in Cancun. Like, everybody was sharing their stories, how my journey and listening to my story has affected them. And many people has already stood up from the wheelchair, just listening to my story. So that moment made me realize that I know now why I had this problem, because it has to be like for inspiration to others. It has to be an example for others, like to give them a hope that even you can cure like any of incurable disease or what doctors say or anything in your life. So that moment I was so emotional, and the thought in my mind was, I am blessed to have this condition. This came to me as a blessing that I could be a contributor in a small change in somebody's life. And literally, some people shared their stories. They were about to commit suicide, and they just changed their mind after watching my testimonial. That that was a changing moment for me. Like, saving someone's life could be anything. Like, there can't be a greater thing than that. So now I look back at my journey, even like I know many days I am low. I am not feeling to do this work. I'm not feeling to do meditation. I'm just very much disappointed with everything. Like, nothing is working for me. I had those days, but now I look back and see every day was worth it, because I still did. And every moment of what I experienced, what I faced, every challenge for me was worth it after listening to these stories. So definitely like it has this is the reason I'm in this path also, because ultimately everybody has to come to this path. If not now, sometime later, maybe in how many lifetimes. At least now I am aware about this and I'm on this path. So that's the ultimate thing. And I know now that my disease has come to bring me to this path. Otherwise, I may be like not aware about all this ultimate truth, this spiritual journey, the possibilities and all. I just may be, trapped by all this 3D temporary lies and everything just very small around me. So now I know bigger things in life, and I'm just headed to that self-realization and ultimate truth. And that's the destination for everybody. Like, it's just a matter of time when everybody will reach there. But I'm glad that I am aware now and I'm on this journey now.
So there's some comments coming in. I became very emotional. There's a lot of people on the screen that are very emotional over that story. That is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. Just such a beautiful soul you are, Ikshit. And we all have to walk a path. It's our journey to find out why we walk this path and to do the best with this path. But I think with you continuing to surrender and have the faith you know, you walk the path with the divine, you know the divine's never going to lead you in the wrong direction. And here you've been able to see that your entire journey has brought you here to save a life, even if it was just that one person you saved his life. But you know, it wasn't just the one person. How many people have you touched? It's just incredible. And you're so young, you're so wise, you're so young. Thank you for that beautiful answer. Thank you. Shabina.
Thank you actually to Farzana for asking that question before giving me the opportunity to ask my question. I could resonate with Ikshit a lot. So that answer that you gave actually set a context for the question that I'm going to ask. I think I do share a little bit of your journey somewhere. Only the label that we were given is different. So my question is, there are times when we, lose our alignment. And do you have any tip which helps you come back to that alignment the more faster? I do get out of the alignment, but I come back. But then sometimes there are times where I take a lot of time for me to come back because I'm completely bedridden at times, maybe for a couple of months together. That time, every ritual, every routine it's tossed off because lying down and trying to meditate, I just fall asleep and then it doesn't work. And none of the routines that I follow, I'm not able to follow them. I try to keep my mind there. I try to be aware the more. Right now, I don't go into depression or something. That way, I'm aware and I'm in alignment. But the work that we do, somewhere, I'm off it. So I feel that pulls me back. So that is where I want to know, do you have any tip or tricks which will help us come back to the alignment within the shortest period?
Yeah, definitely. What I do for myself as well is when we are in that good state, I used to write my thoughts and what's like motivating me to be in that state. So my feeling in that state, even like if I'm feeling good and maybe it's because of some situation outside, I capture photos of that. And when I'm low, I look at that photos. That brings me back in that memory that there was that good time as well. And that notes I'm telling you to journal, that will help you to get back from that low state, because only you have experienced that good state as well, right? And it's your notes only. So it's in there, still in there, but your just mind is not able to recollect those memories. So if you give that external push, that external resources, that photos, that journal, your notes, that will help you bring you back more. Other things are music. I very often listen to upbeat music. It definitely helps. So whenever you're feeling low, and just like make a note of it, when you are in that low zone, you will not want to listen that upbeat music because your mind is not in that state, so it will not resonate to it. But still listen to that upbeat music. That is only what is required to change your state of mind, to bring your mind from that low state, because in those states your mind just want to remain low and it resonates with only those things only. So the like your just your self notes, your memories from the past of when you're feeling good, music, and I would say strengthening your belief more and more. Like keep reading books, make it a habit, or motivational videos, articles. And that's why I say, like, even on social media, I'm just following more and more of such pages, like which sends this kind of message or a teaching, that even if unconsciously I'm reading that, it will help me to bring me back from that state. So we can't do everything consciously from that state, but keeping ourselves surrounded with those positive things will help us to come faster, as you say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So these are the things what I try with myself.
Yeah, those are what I try as well. I actually have a lot of screenshots of comments which people have given me saying how my journey helped them in their life, how their life was transformed, how they got a hope to live. Now, I took screenshots of those things and I read them. And then I have my own videos where, things which I couldn't do that I have done. Things my doctors said I would never be doing, which I have done. So I keep watching those as well, just to motivate me. But still, my issue is that there are times when I'm not able to do anything, when I'm not even able to move physically, and there I'm not able to do my rituals. As I said, my mind is calm. Yeah, there were times when I lose control of my mind, thinking that I'm not able to be on the track and follow my routine or rituals, which will help me recover fast. So that is where I lose my mind, not because of the conditions or thing. And I keep watching, and on social media also, the things that I watch is things like this, which will help me. And I also believe that I'm born here to inspire. I'm living this hell of a pain because I'm here to inspire. And that is what helps me, keep going. To sail, I would say. I mean, to sail, that's what helps me. And sometimes I wonder what will help me keep in track of what I have been doing and which helped me. That's where I lost for the couple of months, last couple of months, and I'm slowly coming back to it. When I lost, track of my meditation, because I would fall asleep the moment I start meditation. And it was like, then I would wake up, after maybe half an hour or 1 hour later, and I was like, okay, I was meditating and I got lost. I start again and again, I fall asleep. So that is something which actually, I had a bad feeling about.
But just one thing to add here. You said that when you are in the state when your physical body is not comfortable sitting in meditation, and you are not at all in the state to do meditation, and you are just very hopeless in that state, like what to do. Same things, what I do in these kind of situations, just ask yourself one question: what are the options you have? For me, there's no option then, just other than meditation. I know there's no medicine, there's no medical treatment, nothing gonna work now. So only thing I have left with is meditation. So why not give yourself 100% to this meditation, only because that's the only option you have. So
Yeah,
let this be your motivation, that no options are there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Shabina. Yelena.
I think you're on mute.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to add a couple important things, and I think Ikshit, you will probably agree with me. The breaths are very, very important, and especially when we're in the low energy vibrations. If you do the breaths before meditation, it will bring you to to the better place. And also, if you can concentrate on a mindful breath, when you mind start wandering and you start thinking about, you start watching your breaths, and it will take you back to the present moment. In addition to meditation, the best thing to do is teach your body to meditate at the same time. It could be morning, could be evening, but if you're doing it at the same time every day, that would be really great. It will help you to kind of train your body to that schedule. Also, when you feel low, ask yourself a very simple question: what would love do in that situation? And right away bring you a completely different vibration. Oh, okay, what would love do right now for me? And it will you start thinking in a more positive way. Correct? You like that? and and one more thing, well, what I want to say, basically, even if you feel low, always try to think just to be a little bit greater than you are right now. If you just go a little bit higher than you feel right now, it's already victory. I'll give you an example. I never liked to take a cold shower. And I always thought, okay, if I'm going to take a cold shower, is it going to change me as a person? But it will. These little things, if you start doing like something you never want to do it and you do it, you're going to feel a victory. It will bring you up right away in the vibrations. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, that's very resonant with me. Ikshit, I know you were going to say something, but I think the breath is something new I introduced. It wasn't something I introduced before going to the September live with Dr. Joe, but since coming back, Heidi and Catherine, and we have a small group of people. We're a little soul family that we met up in Niagara Falls for the first time. And we realized we must have been loved ones in a different life because we're loved ones now together. And someone in that group mentioned about the Wim Hof breathing and Dr. Joe breathing as well. And so when I introduced that separate breathing before my meditation, it's taken me into a very, very elevated state of meditation. And I forgot about that myself until you just mentioned it. And as you said about what would love do, what I was thinking when Shabina was talking is like, we're so critical, especially when we have an expectation. We're so critical of ourselves. And the minute we just stop and we say, I love you. I know you're doing the best you can. Even if it's the first day, second day, 10th day, I've fallen asleep during my meditation. I just love you. And you know what? As soon as you just put yourself into that state of love instead of judgment, or as Yelena says, ask what would love do? Already there's a victory there, because that's one step closer to who you actually are, which is divine love. You know, our ego is the one that's judging. Our ego is the one who has expectations. But as soon as you do what Yelena was saying, what would love do? It just puts you back into that divine state. Don't worry if you fall asleep repeating. You know, you're walking through some challenges right now, and it's your path right now, and you just love yourself. And when you show yourself that level of love, magic will unfold. Thank you, Yelena. That was beautiful. Akshit, I don't know if you want to jump in on that further to what Yelena said.
Just on the importance of breath work, I would say definitely I miss that. I do breath daily, as I told in the beginning, the pranayams. So definitely that helps a lot in bringing back to a like positive state of mind. So that plays definitely a very key role in like shifting the state of mind. So if you can try and start with some breath work, that will definitely help.
I gotta share something. I just bought this new Breathwork from Dr. Joe. Did you try that yet? He just released it's a 10 or 11 different music, and you just listen through the whole thing. We choose whatever you want. Amazing, absolutely amazing, so beautiful.
Good to
Try
know.
that.
Good to know. I'm starting to feel the Kundalini energy moving through me. I was just sharing with Heidi and Catherine and the rest of our group that I literally, like, because I have my eye mask on when I'm meditating, as soon as I started introducing the breath work, and that I know that's the change. It's the only one thing I've done differently. I feel like a push on my side. Or one day I was going to bed, I wasn't meditating, but I felt like the whole bed shake to the point I had to take my eye mask off to see what was going on, until I just realized, wait a minute, that's happening more and more. That's the Kundalini energy moving through me, which is so exciting. So, you know how I started off with my introduction saying that I went to this 10-day silent meditation, and that was the beginning of the end of my illness. Everything we ever need is in us. Your breath, your heart, everything. You know, that's what Dr. Joe talks about, is a heart-brain coherence, getting us back in this state of just balance. Everything we need is within us. You never have to look outside of yourself. Thank you, Yelena. I didn't know about that, but I'm going to check it out for sure. I have one last question that I absolutely want to ask Ikshit. He and I chatted about this already. So I'm going to give the opportunity to anybody else. Anybody have any questions? You'll definitely have an opportunity for comments later, because I see a lot of comments coming in with a lot of love. for Ikshit. So yeah, Bhavna, you can ask your question.
Yeah. Ikshit, do you do Anilom Vilom, or what other pranayamas do you do? Kapalabhati, and what other pranayams do you do?
I do a set of pranayams. It's Kapalabhati, Anulom Vilom,
Yeah.
Brastika, Brahmari, Om chanting.
Okay.
So
Om
yeah,
chanting.
yes. So these are like 5 to 6 pranayams,
Okay.
all together for like 30 minutes,
Okay.
like as a whole.
Okay. Thanks.
Great question. So that's all the breathing practices. Any other questions? Nope. Okay. Okay. So my question is.
Farzana, if you allow me, I have a question to him.
Oh, sure. I don't see who you are, but please go ahead.
Yeah, Sashi here. Hi, Ikshit.
As
You mentioned about Shiva Yoga. I have also done lots of courses from Avdut Baba Shivananda. Do you still do that chakra meditation along with this? Because both, basically I find connection between the Botek and this.
Yeah, I still do. Like, see, what I found is everything is same. As I told you, the chakra meditations of Shiv Yoga and bracing of energy centers of Dr. Joe, everything is almost similar. We are just giving our focus and taking our focus to all the energy centers. So I do like all of these, like sometimes Dr. Joe's, and if I'm feeling to do Shiv Yoga one, I'm doing Shiv Yoga one. So it's not just a particular meditation I'm sticking to, because as I said, it's going beyond meditation for me as always, not just sticking and depending on a particular meditation.
Thank you, Ikshit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Jump in if anybody has any questions, but I'll go ahead and ask the question that I'm really intrigued by. So we talked about the meaning of our names. My name, Farzana, means wisdom. And for the longest time, especially when I was going through my illness, I was thinking that the word wisdom is a very heavy word. I always thought, like, did I have to go through all the trauma of my illness? And do I have to carry that wisdom now of that trauma and the heaviness through my life? But it wasn't until the September week-long event with Dr. Joe, where he mentioned the word wisdom at least 10 times a day. And what he says, wisdom is having a memory without the emotion, which means everything that comes into our life is there to teach us something, to show us something, to help us grow. But to look back on that as a memory without any emotion, that's true wisdom. And it's the first time that I thought to myself, wow, like I see way more gifts. I already saw the gifts and why I had gone through what I had done, because I think, Ikshit, when I was talking to you, I'd said that I was asleep before then. I don't think anything could have woken me up as much as my illness did, and what I learned about faith, persistence, what I learned about the true strength we have within ourselves, you know? And so now that made it so much more beautiful that my name, wisdom, is actually something that's lightness, not heaviness. So we talked about the meaning of your name. Would you like to share with us what the meaning of your name is and what it means to you now to know it?
Exactly. But to be honest, I forgot I shared you the meaning of my name because I searched it then only. I forgot what exactly it meant, but I know the description, like what were the like long thing of that my name. So yes, it definitely resonated with me now when I related everything in that paragraph that was written for my name. Like, I'll be on the spiritual path and I'll be willing to serve others, and I'll have that kind of satisfaction in that only. So I'll find this path eventually in my life. So that all things, having a particular vision, and like when I read the description, it all started resonating with me, and detaching myself from other small things, and those I was like, it all makes sense, and some things that are still left will definitely make sense. So maybe it's just a coincidence or a synchronicity, but yes, it definitely is relating to me now.
Well, I'm reading what you sent me. It's to be desired, to be visible, and to be beheld. And all
Yeah.
the comments that are coming through for you about what a beautiful soul you are and how inspiring you are. To me, you really fit your name. Thank you
Wow.
for sharing that. Do you have a few more minutes? We have Catherine and Sharon who have questions. Are you good to? Yes?
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely. Yeah.
Catherine, my sweet sister, Catherine.
I just wanted to say something in response to what Farzana mentioned about how Dr. Joe uses the word wisdom. And Ikshit, first of all, I just want to thank you so much for your presence here and all the beauty that you shared with us. And this kind of connects also to with many things that you've said. The fact that what we're doing here, this is truth. What we're learning here, what we're studying here, what we're going into our beings, and as Farzana said, all the answers are in here, and these truths are in many spiritual traditions. And I've studied Buddhism for many years with the Tibetan teachers, and there's a prayer that the first time I heard it, it just went straight to my heart, and I knew that it was my practice. It's called the Four Dharmas of Gampopa. And I feel like Dr. Joe teaches this, but he uses different words, but they're basically, grant your blessings that my mind may follow the Dharma. And all Dharma means is obviously the truth. Grant your blessings that my Dharma practice may become the path. Grant your blessings that the path may clarify confusion. Grant your blessings that confusion may dawn as wisdom. And everything we do, every time our practice opens up another window, another door, another small little crack in our awareness, that's where the light's coming through. And this is our hope, and this is our path, and this is what leads us to where you are today after so many years of knowing that, wow, like we look back over everything that happened before and it's like, bless it all because that's what brought us here, and bless everything that's to come because it's only going to expand. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Catherine. Sharon, you have your hand up.
Hi. Hello, Farzana. Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Farzana and Ikshit, for this beautiful session. And my question is, self-talk is a very important mental diet. So I want to know, to Ikshit, what kind of self-talk you have or you entertain, particularly in your during your initial days.
Okay. To be honest, I was very young initially, like when I started this work and when I was diagnosed with this. I don't remember exactly what I thought in those days. I was just in my teens and I was not able to figure out anything at all. But still, self-talk, I use motivational videos for my self-talk. So like my college was half an hour journey from my home, a metro train journey. So all throughout my journey, I was having this earphones plugged in and listening to motivational talks, motivational videos in the morning. And that pumped me for throughout the day. Throughout the day in my college, I was so energetic, so positive, so happy. And so the self-talk I did for me was, I have to do like anything I can do. And it's okay, I'm limited in some ways, but there are still many things I can do. So I just focused on those things, and I just deviated my energy to that areas. In my college, I was very active. I participated in many extracurricular activities. I organized events. I even tried like 2 startups in my college. So everything with this condition. So what self-talk I give myself is, in whatever ways I can do, whatever I can do, I have to do that, and just be positive about that, and just be proud of that still I'm able to do this much. And so everybody in life has some kind of problem, may it be like in any area of life. So this is my problem. And it's not that I'm just sitting with this problem. So I don't have to focus on that. And that thing worked. I was not at all always bothered with my problem. I didn't focus it at all. And many people ask me, like, when you had this belief that you could be healed. I never had this belief that I couldn't be healed. It was this. I don't have this belief that I could be healed, but I don't had this belief that it couldn't be healed. So these kind of self-talk, and there are many things, just I'm not able to recollect all these things. So because it's been a long journey and I've used many things for my motivation and all. Maybe I'll write it down for you, all my self-talks. I'm not able to recollect all those things now. I'll send you in a written thing when I recollect them all.
Thank you so much. So sweet of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. So while people are still thinking of any questions or comments, I want to just read a couple here. Arti says, God bless you. The way you express gratitude in your life view is amazing. Thanks for sharing and for being you. Shalini says, you are such a special child of God. Sassy says, you're such an awesome person. Kalpana says, God bless you. Lots of love coming your way. Anybody else have any other questions? Comments? I knew that wasn't going to take an hour. I knew it was going to take way over an hour. Ikshit, do you have any final words? Anything that didn't come up in conversation today that you feel might be really important to just impart your wisdom here?
I would just say, take this path as a journey, like not something as you want this with meditation, you want this particular thing, or you are expecting this thing from meditation. This is a beautiful journey. Just take this path, like be on this path and enjoy everything on this path. Don't expect like very suddenly. For sure, you will be having beautiful gifts throughout this path. Even just don't get yourself trapped on those gifts. Take on those gifts, enjoy those gifts, but keep your focus on that final destination and just keep on moving. This is what I have realized lately throughout my journey, and still I am in this journey. It's not that this is, maybe this might change for me as well, but what I feel it now and how I see it now is we have to be patient and just having that strong faith in that ultimate truth that is everything, and letting go of all the temporary things that's affecting us. They will come, good things will come, bad things will come. Having that acceptance and then letting go of them will make it very easy for you throughout. And it's also a practice. Don't overburden yourself that we have to implement this from tomorrow only. No, surrender is a practice, gratitude is a practice, letting go is a practice. Give yourself time, be patient in this, and you will definitely get better in this. I can tell you based on my 10 years of journey now. Initially, I was also very impatient. I wanted results very fast. But now I see everything comes, but at its own pace. So just believe and keep on surrendering. That's it. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
So beautiful, Ikshit. Thank you so much. I remember once you said, just show up and surrender. Show up for yourself, show up for your faith, and just surrender. So some comments coming in. Thank you so very much from Rashim. Catherine says, thank you so much, Ikshit, for all you have shared with us today. It's been so beautiful to spend this time together with you. Bharti says, that was so profound and beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your learnings with us. Gargi, thank you. You are such a beautiful soul, so down to earth. God bless you. Farina says, thank you so much, Ikshit. When I saw your YouTube video, I had goosebumps. God bless you. Dimple says, God bless you in all that you are doing. Surya, thank you, Ikshit. Such an amazing session, and the value of meditation is infinite. So much wisdom in this session. Thank you. Yelena, thank you, Ikshit, for inviting me. I'm so happy to be able to connect with you today and see you again, sending you love. Oh, Yelena, it was so nice to see you here today. Rashim, in a world where people can't figure out their life purpose, you have achieved your life purpose by sharing your learnings, and your transformation is an inspiration for many. Asha says that was a really good session. Thank you. I am a new person here. Just have a question. How long do you meditate every day? Let me just complete some of the comments here so I don't forget them. Sarah, thank you so much, Ikshit. You are such an inspiring, you're so inspiring and amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your journey. Lots of love. Gargi says so much wisdom at such a young age. Prajnashri, thank you, Ikshit, for such an amazing session with so many insights. Bhavna, so grateful and blessed. All this love is just coming your way. All this love is coming your way.
Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
so I forget that last question. Do you remember it? How long I think you meditate for every day, to Asha?
Okay, so it's not fixed always. It depends on my many things. Right now, I'm off my office, so I'll be resuming my office in a few days. So that's my schedule gonna change. But currently, I'm meditating around 3 to 4 hours a day, and in different sessions. Obviously, I start my day at 4 a.m., then some meditation at around 9, and then in evening, and then before sleeping. So, but it will change when I resume my office. But what this is again a little piece of wisdom in this as well. What I have realized is it's not always like how many meditations or how long you are meditating in a day. It's how long you're able to maintain that meditative state. So sometimes back I used to do is when I'm feeling that I'm losing that state and I'm just so much overpowered by the outside situations, I just maybe do a 5-minute or 10-minute unguided meditation, or use a guided meditation for 15 minutes or so to bring me in that peaceful and calm state. And it was also not the case every time, but I want to do it like this. Like if I'm losing that state, I will just plug in and go in that state. So maybe if you're doing even once a day, like one meditation in the morning, try to maintain that state as long as you can, and just be aware and conscious of your thoughts and emotions, what you are feeling. And whatever, if you think it's deviating you, just maybe consciously think about the things you want to bring you back. So it may not be a particular meditation or a proper meditation in a seated posture. You can be just standing and thinking about that meditative state, and you can start feeling that state as well. So this is the thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ikshit. Okay, more love coming your way. And just as we wrap up now, so thank you, Ikshit, for sharing your journey. Good luck and God bless. May you continue to influence so many lives. That's from Vinita. Sarah, thank you for the generous time and sharing. Kalpana, thank you for this opportunity, sending you so much love and light. You are a beautiful soul with an amazing purpose in life. God bless you. All right, so if I'm going to stop the recording now. Any final questions, comments for Ikshit? Can go ahead and stop. Okay, I'll stop.
And even if anybody has any questions left or want to discuss anything with me, even want to give any advice to me, you can reach out to me on my Instagram, or if you have my number on WhatsApp, Telegram, anything.
Yes,
So,
thank you. I'm going to share that with our group. I'm going to share your contact with them, and thank you so much for offering people to give you
thank you so much.
feedback too. Thank you. Okay, let me stop the recording. Now you hang on here, Ikshit, with me.